Um, this is I want to say a tutorial, but it's not really a tutorial. It's more of a showcase tutorial of this puppet and what can easily be done with it as it is. 'Cause this puppet here is a copy of the puppet you can download. It's got, I showed it yesterday. Talking mouth. It's got all this. I've toggled internally so that the skybox is automatically on, as you can see down the bottom. Left trigger for the rain. So even though it says it's off there, I've gone inside and moved the wire up, so it's on by default. 10 and that's turned off. I'll turn them on right now. Let's show HP. Let's close that. Okay. So I've done nothing other than I've grabbed the squares. As you can see, I haven't made them transparent so that you can actually see them. I've put them in the water here. I've used one of my other assets, which is just the water square, to give the island look. Now the grass and the sand there. If I go into edit mode and go to X-ray mode, I've placed the grid pieces like that. As I've moved them over the side so you can see the separate pieces. But each one of those chips is the detector and the rain affecting light. I showed it yesterday. So if I come into here, you can see, like, if I scope in, that's detecting shelter, so on and so forth. All I've done is gridded it, and then if I come over here, the last line here, if I come over here and that line there, like if I come across and go that, as you can see, that one there is hidden. So there is another grid there, but I've made it so the grid itself isn't visible. It's still there, but so if I do that, those green boxes are for the water, so when the camera goes under, it does the water effect. All these white squares are alignments for that's Media Molecules assets. That's not mine. So all I've done is let's hide that. Grabbed a shape and a shape, sculpted it how I wanted it, made it look a bit like an island. Grabbed some Media Molecule rocks, made the rocks, put some trees down. Used my water asset to make some water. And then what I've done is I've grabbed this and I've grabbed one of these. If I remember correctly, it was here somewhere. I can't remember which one I grabbed, but I grabbed one of these here, and when that happens, it adjusts the sound it makes here and whether it looks wet. That's all I've done. So that this brown piece picks a random or anything out in the open to use its detection system. Now, because they're flat, obviously the rain droplets don't quite hit the ground where the ground is. But it's meant to show how easily something can be done with this setup. So if I rewind it and then I go to play mode, it's automatically, remember I automatically switched it over, so let's turn 10 and that on. Sky's already on. Let's turn the HP on. And let's do that. So if I now trigger the rain, you can see that the rain triggers. All I've done is lowered the cube that you hit, the ground piece, to under there. So when I walk in the water now, it does the water effect because the cubes are under the water. You can adjust them separately, so like coming into here, I get edit mode. If you come into here and you keep selecting until you get to there, you can adjust that and the chip moves. You don't want that. You want to go in, so you get the cube and there, and then you can move that around, and that doesn't move the chip. And that's what all I've done is I've lowered it. So it's when that is round, but the chip is not selected. Just that is. So you're on the edit mode of that. And all I've done is grabbed that, moved it down. That adjusts how far up the droplets in are hitting. If you come up, you can see the little white dots. They will be the chip locations, if I'm not mistaken. And if I go back one, there's the chip. So the ground hitting the stuff is where that little white dot is. And as you can see with the water level is all the way down here. So there is a bit of a gap there, but it's meant to be a quick showcase. It looks like it's, you could sit there and adjust it, but I'm not going to worry about it. The ground looks wet. The sand looks wet. I'm getting the water droplets because there's no shelter. But if I come into somewhere where there's shelter, boom. Because it's detecting above, it knows do not animate the rain here. And the puppet dries off. Come step back out again. Does that. Now obviously if I've jumped up on top of it, this is the only, let's see if I can get this puppet up here. Can you get up please? Puppet please. It's not going to do it for me. Okay, try this side. Okay, either way, when you get to the top, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So let's just do this so I can get up there. Let's boom, boom. Let's make a staircase. Let's turn that off so that doesn't annoy me. Let's place you about there. And that about there. So we now got a staircase to get up. So when I get up to here, you'll see that still not high enough, but you can see that if I come over here, come on up you go. Get up there, it'll turn. It's not okay. Let's do another little step. About there should be fine. As you can see, the rain isn't here. It's because the ground is below and it's detecting this stuff above it. That's the only flaw. The only way to get around that is if I grab the whole thing. Like if I come down to where the grid is, where is it? If I can grab one of these ones that are out in the open. So if I grab a copy clone tool like this, there's a thing, just go in until it's just one of them is selected. If I clone it, I now have the grid, it's back out so it's not attached. If I want, for example, the rain to be, this is how games actually do it, but this square, if I place this, oh hang on, I've got to go in like this and adjust this. Hang on, if I turn, is that one? Nope. It's not gonna. Okay, you know what? Where are we? There. Let's just raise it up a little bit. Don't want to go too much. Yeah, that should be fine. I can now grab this. Let's turn that off. And just say place one, say there. And then if I copy that to the side, and I can place one there somewhere. So that will represent the rain hitbox of that. So if I now do it like this, and turn the rain on, all here's fine, and if I come under here, it should still shelter. It does, so it's all good. But if I get to the things, I should be able to now jump up to here. A puppet, dot it hold. Here. I should still get the rain where I am now, because it's now detecting here above. Doesn't look like it's working correctly. Oh, because that rock's in the way. Okay. Because of the detection system, I can see what's exactly going on here. The detection system is detecting that rock. So if I, for example, because what they're doing is detecting these rocks here. If I come into here, you can see the actual rock itself. I've just labeled it as a scenery piece. So these detection thingies are detecting it because it's a scenery thing. I can either adjust. Come on, you mongrel. Just. Sony, man. Fucking Sony and the shit controls. Okay, there we go. There's the detection system. As you can see, it's hitting. So I can just adjust where that hit detection is. If I grab that, I can now move this. If I move it forward, just say for example, until it's no longer in there. This one here is no longer detecting that rock. I can do the same with this one. You can do it with each individual one. Thank you. Grab this one. Grab that. Yeah, see that one's hitting it as well. It's not actually, is it? Ah, no, that one's hitting that rock. But if I just move it forward just a little bit, yeah, about there somewhere. That'll fix that problem. So now when I go up there, you'll see the raindrops. There you go. It's hitting the top. If I go in, it's still sheltered. So that's why I've decided to do the rain thing the way I've done it, is for that. Now I'm not 100% sure on how reliable it will be, how many layers you can do and that sort of stuff, like whether you can just stack it up 5 times and like grid it around the wood and make those cubes, the actual pieces. You can actually see them there. You can make them invisible, but you can see them there. Make them invisible and not cube it, not collidable, and the rain will do that, and it will detect segmented all over the map. Then in theory it could work, but I've not tested. So, and that's not what it's designed for. It's designed for something like this, so you can turn the rain on and off. Oh, and the rain just stopped. So you can build a simple, like, oh, there's a cave entrance. It shelters. You can come outside. It's in the sunlight, in the rain, so on and so forth. Now, obviously, I haven't made the rocks go shiny in the rain, but you can do that as well. If you want to do that, the easiest way to do it, get the cube to there, and whatever it is going to alter, same as what I did with this, with the ground. Oh, excuse me. So just say you want this rock. Just grab the rock, and with the keyframes here, this one here, if you click on it, you'll see it changes the darkness and the moisture. So all you have to do is get whatever you want to also be included. So just say this rock here, edit the keyframe, and tell it to shiny the rock. Now whenever it's in game or in live mode and it's raining, you see that rock there is now shiny. So it looks like it's kind of wet. You're not going to get the droplets all over the surface like you do on the ground. But if you don't want to use the actual rain effect, I'm going to use a different one. By all means, just plonk it in, make it global. But then when you come into here, it's not going to stop the rain from showing. You'd have to tell it that if any of these are detecting it, to stop it. So that if your puppet's under shelter, you can say, okay, tell the puppet to stop showing the rain, and then it'll still work. So if you come into the puppet itself, and let's grab that, and you can go, you got your tan, which is where the detector is, and this laser here. If you're using global rain, so these droplets are just the entire map. So if I go to here, let's go to here, let's search rain. So you can see here there's all these different effects. So let's go to this one here. There's a rain effect. It's not my rain effect, it's somebody else's rain effect. If I plonk it globally, for example, if I plonk it on the puppet itself. So let's select the puppet. It's now on the puppet. Let's place it around the puppet. There. I just hit the wrong fucking button. God damn it. Let's try it again. Okay. It's in the puppet. Placed. It's now surrounding the puppet. Grab the actual that. As you can see, rain 2. Grab the laser scope so that when it detects something, it puts out a signal. Now we don't want it to say yes, show the rain when it hits something, because it means it's sheltered. We want it to say when it's not hitting something. If you follow the lines, you'll see that goes to an AND gate, that goes over to here, which goes off to. That's not the important. All you have to do is grab yourself a NOT gate, plonk a knock gate down. Go scope. There. So when the laser does not hit something, power the rain up. That's all you have to do. So right now, if I'm in, just turn the rain off, the rain effect will follow the puppet round because the rain effect's there. But the second I get sheltered, so when that little square goes dark, it'll turn off the rain. That's another method I could have used. But if you're standing in here, if you look out there, it doesn't look like it's raining out there. It just looks sunny. But if I walk out, oh yeah, it's doing the rain. If you hook that up to the whole character getting wet and stuff like that, it'll be, where are we? Let's go here. So that knock gate is, so if we're in the thing, we go into the rain section. Oh, sorry, weather section. There's the rain selection there. And we have a thing that goes from here across to here to here. That let's remove that one for now. So that icon there is indicating, you know, a rock, so a shelter. And then you can see here, if it is this one here, the AND gate, if it is raining and it is sheltered, or in this case not sheltered, it is to put out a signal. So what we can do is just grab this cable running into there. Now it will not do the thing unless it is raining. So that effect that's around the puppet will always be there while it's raining. But when you step under shelter, it will get rid of it. That's another method you could have used. It's an easier method, but it's not as versatile. Because as you can see, when I'm out here, yeah, it looks great out here. When the ground is wet, the puppets, and it looks great. But the second you move into here, the outside wouldn't look like it's still raining. Depending on what you want to do with it, which method is best. The one I've done here, for my method, it still looks like it's raining outside because it's raining outside. But my puppet is dry. That's why I've done the little squares. But the reason I'm doing the chips the way I'm doing it is for the versatility. And I'm crossing my fingers that it's actually working for people if they use it. Now obviously, set all this stuff to go shiny when it rains will take time. And if you're using my gridded thing, if you want the rain to align with the ground, like over here, the ground gets lower. If you want it to align with it, it'll take time to adjust each square height-wise. But it shouldn't take a lot of brain power to go, okay, where does that wire have to go? What does this switch have to do? It should be just go. Place it, align it, and that's it. You can throw something like this together. I've done this in, what, 20 minutes. Medium molecule assets. That water's my asset, and this extra rain I just added, you saw, I just went and searched it, plonked it in, and I used it, wired it up to the right spot, boom, it turns on and off at the right spot. It's going off the shadows, the little square at the bottom right, whether it's under shelter or not. And obviously I'll put it into the weather section so that only while it's raining will the rain be shown. If I turn the rain off, it doesn't get shown. I don't think there's anything else I need to explain about how it's done or all that, because in the weather section, if I could change the icon on this, I would, but that there is if it's sheltered and it's raining. If you want it to be when it's raining and not sheltered, I mean, that's when it's raining and not sheltered. If you want it to be when it's raining and it's sheltered, then you obviously have to run it from here and here. I don't have one set up for that. This one is so like you're out in the rain. If you want it to be like if you're in the cave to have a different effect, you'd have to make a whole section for that. Can't bring that down. Grab an AND gate like that, and just simply run it from there while it's raining, and then from there. So that there would be while it's sheltered in the rain. So you could then make that your character's shivering or something like that. So you're out of the rain, but you're still cold. But I thought I'd show it off, how easy it is to create stuff with the puppet. Toggling here, like as I said before, I changed it so that the sky is, when it's green, it's rain, the weather is off. The normal puppet's the other way around, but I made it so that, because when you start the puppet in default, they're all red except for the bottom one. It means they're all off. And I wanted the weather to be on by default, so all I done was move the wire. The character still puffs, still gets pants in it, but obviously the sweat is overridden by the weather, so you won't see the character sweat because it's obviously full wet. When the rain stops, I've actually got natural rain. Ooh. When the rain stops, it takes a few seconds for the to fade out, but as if I come into here, we'll see if you can see it. Looked almost instant there. It takes like a second and a half, 2 seconds for it to dry off. Oop, it just finished raining. I can go outside. There you go. So I can turn the rain on. Shiny, shiny. Turn it off. Second to fade out. The skybox, I've added that to the weather. So when it's raining, it just darkens it off a little bit just to give that overcast look. The sundial I've got with the tags in it, because this uses the laser. If you go into here, into the tan, and then you've got the laser. If you're using that, just tell it to point at tags, and if the dial is the correct way, it will look at where the sun is and go, okay, is there something between the puppet and where the sun's location is? Yes, you're in shade. No, you're in sunlight. But because the weather, this one here, is piggybacking over the sun's position, it will also then, the rain will be on an angle. So just be cautious of that. That's why I've left this in there, the original detection above it, which is that big green square. So if you want to use that for the sun, and you want this to run off directly above it, that without the laser, you can just grab this one, which is that line there that goes all across to there. You can change this line here to run from there to there, and it will now detect above it as well. Or delete this one, delete that one that goes from there to the laser, and go like that, and now the shelter, not the shade, but shelter from the rain, is just this cube above it. So it all depends on what your preferred use is. That can be deleted. That's the wallet's weather is on. As you see, there's no square around the left trigger thing. If you it puts a square around it, indicating that it's on test, so you can test the rain. That is so that you can place the grid pieces. Now, oh, is this going to work? Put the rain on, test it. It's supposed to be not on test. That way, so every 30 or 60 seconds, what I've got it set at, it'll go, okay, randomize, 1 in 5 chance, is it going to rain? You could add clouds, I could add clouds, I'm not going to worry about it just yet. The puppet's hair's got to be done, its eyebrows are going to be done, some outfit pieces are going to be done, so, but it's usable, it's up there, and this is what you can pull off. So, if you're in Dreams, give it a go. If you get stuck, throw me a message. I'm out here, stay safe, and I'll catch you all next time.